Tuesday, January the 28th, 2020, I posted Anachronism 2969. It's called A Little Bit More About All of the Todays, and it starts with an epigraph. But I've never had heart failure. That is Henry Wei Lung. I read from a book that has listed as a description an Occupy lyric. Oh boy. And I remember being blindsided by my people. The ones who had been on my side, taking everything out on the police officers, bullying them as if to show we can play this game too. All of this directed at the women and men in uniform who daily risk their lives to protect my sorry ass, and those asses of all the others, asses full of sorrow, and police officers, and an endemic problem that was decided by my people. And there are problems, I will admit, but to stoop to the level. Decided by my people should be hated on, bullied, manipulated, spit upon. While those uniformed and who attempted to contain, attempted to safe zone, attempted to anti-violence, I, on the West Coast, bombarded with television snippets of my people taunting the men in uniforms. A visit from Jay from the East Coast, who was telling me he believed he lost his poet cred because, just like me, we could not understand and therefore stand for and with Occupy this or that. And these were a little bit more elitist folks, I think, before the whole pandemic and the, Black Lives Matter stuff and the death of that poor gentleman, many gentlemen. So anyway, still, I believe, this is true in my opinion, or how it affected me. A visit from Jay from the East Coast, who was telling me he believed he lost his poet cred because, just like me, he would not understand and therefore stand for and with the Occupy this or that. How could we be the bullies? We both wondered aloud, a bit slight in the eyes through which could be discerned the stress, the denial, the loss of the ideal. The officers looked on, mostly nice as pie. Corruption, I have decided, is not an overused word. It exists. I have learned in a matter of 3 small years that to strike at the corruption at the heart of all hearts would be to kill the animal of all animals. This weary planet, so-called Earth, would finish harboring resentment for those upright, hairless beings that have nary an upright value. Empathy for Earth was always the problem, ironically. It kept its creatures alive, its population defiantly nabbing every ounce of dirt and bone and sap. Empathy was ruining everything. Then, suddenly, like the monstrosity of the many leagues of stunning dinosaurs that had by now been long since forgotten by even sometimes the Earth itself, our plural selves had mostly indulged us into an existence so arrogant, so unaware, so full of refusal until Earth saw us incapable of getting along with themselves. Such fragile pricks, thought the Earth, so blistered with the memory that they may have existed once, a mere hyperbole, and then just as soon as the parasites joined to coerce and to rule, they were decimated. No more giant gout-punched, thundering club feet to extend or delay extinction. The time had come and gone for dinosaurs too. Time had come for dinosaurs, and then the dinosaurs left, saying goodbye only in gasps. Earth could not laugh, nor has it ever begun to even find itself in any position in which to exhale with humor, like an Earth such as Earth exhales. Save it for the porpoises to find out, Earth thought deep within its incinerator, which cleared many stages of ice. Earth never laughs anymore. Old things just come undone. An unempathetic, pale, and upright creature beat the Earth and the other pale and upright creature into the driest dust. The dust to forget me. The dust of equanimity, equal once and for all, our patriotism finally glowing or even sparkling, as if tossed with glitter into the fog of all the swamp-seeming fog rolls, full of nothing but bone mist. The mists of bone. An oxymoron or a paradox were some of the things that the remaining worlds were thinking but not saying. Truly, worlds never get to speak. People did. Yes, humans used to talk, but not anymore. Now they exist merely as the mist of bone. I do not like any more of what I see than you do. My desiccated shadow lengthens. Do you remember the Pacific? Do you remember wanting to swim to the other side of the planet, floating upon its glorious waves like seemingly healthy people somehow manage to do, but not anymore? Now I can walk from here to the islands in the middle of the Pacific, where once nations pretended to end. Now deserts begin. Words cannot float like people do. Words just remain in their place, ready to be frozen into a mountain, rendered illegible, unable to explain that there was once pronunciation. Once the vast Pacific Ocean that covered incredibly vast amounts of rich soil and contained 3/4 of the inhabitants of the universe. And now, Earth, Sun, other worlds have no ideas, words, about existence, of the humans who fantasized great power over all mysteries.